wait, I think it's got Finding Emily on the back, doesn't it?
Does
It
indeed.
does, it does, it does. Lovely to meet you. It's not Alicia, it's Alicia, right?
Alicia, yeah, yeah.
Alicia. Yeah, because I was seeing a lot of interviews and people were mispronouncing it. And I'm like,
I
what?
know.
It's literally on the IG.
I know. I get too tired of correcting them, so it's
Yeah.
my bad as well.
And honestly, this is one of my favorite films of the year, but rom-com wise, it's probably my favorite of the decade because, and I'm not saying
Oh,
it just because you're here, it's because you put Manchester back on the map, and it's
yes.
amazing to see. And um, so I actually lived around the area where you were filming in Salford,
Oh,
and I had a
yeah.
film premiere at the cinema that you premiered as well, at home cinema. So it's
Cool.
insane seeing that, and I was like, damn, I wish I was in this. Funnily enough, I was gonna I was gonna be in the film, in the Stoller Hall,
Yeah.
the final sequence. I was gonna have a little role there, but things didn't match up.
Wait, what were you going to be?
Some acting class that I was in, they all got in, and I was like, damn, I'm good. But then when I watched it, I was like, ah,
There's a
but
lot of people sat in the Stoller Hall.
yeah.
Yeah, true.
So I'm curious to know, why did Manchester and university life feel like the perfect playground for you?
Because it's so rarely, both are so rarely put on the big screen. I don't know why. Manchester is, as you know, an incredible city with so much heart and soul and texture and history and fashion and football. And it's just like vibrating through every brick in that place. And so it was so exciting because it's so rarely on screen for these kind of films. It's always London or New York or whatever. And so I was like, right, this will be, when Harry Met Sally has New York, Finding Emily
Mm.
has Manchester, and we're going to
Yeah,
treat it with reverence. And the same with the university, it's so rarely depicted on screen as an experience, which baffles me because it's so interesting and like ripe for exploring. So it was like, great, I'm in.
yeah. Yeah, I'm glad because I'll be honest, I've been searching for a university rom-com for years, and it's
Yeah,
always
yeah, what are
uh
the other ones?
there isn't. There's
There
just
aren't
Finding
any, right?
Emily. It's everything's
Yeah.
always in high school. Like, come on, does nobody
Yeah,
grow up? It's
apparently not.
mental. Yeah, and
Yeah, it's like
because
they
I
jumped
always,
straight from teen movie to working in media in their late 20s and
yeah,
nothing in
they
between.
just completely missed that out. But it's the fact
Yeah.
that they don't do it in the UK. They sometimes they do it in America, but it's too. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel genuine. Like with this film, I felt like, oh yeah, I recognize this, I can relate to this. It's something that is more universal for Brits, and
Yeah.
you smashed it with that. But
Thank you.
for myself, when I saw emailing every Emily on campus, I thought it was a brilliant setup because it gave me flashbacks to when I accidentally hit reply all to an entire year group. And so I'm curious to know, how tricky was it trying to balance that digital chaos so the search drives the plot without overwhelming the romantic core of the story?
Um, I mean, it is tricky. It always is a balance. And I think you just try different things out in the edit. That was the kind of appeal, to be honest, was this like quite delicate balance of lots
Yeah.
of different things going on. Yeah, this mad emailing stuff, people falling in love, the coming of age element as well, which is something that I really wanted to pull out because as you say, the university thing. Um, yeah, as well as the kind of sort of political thriller of it all in terms of it was a tricky balance. Yeah, I don't know what to say. We just tried lots of different things and like figured it out. I think I always like to put a joke where you don't expect it because I think
Mm.
that keeps people I like humor, comedy. I've always been really obsessed with it as a sort of science in terms of if you can make someone laugh in that moment you have their undivided attention and they lean in for a second. It's a sort of psychological thing. So I always wanted to try and put jokes where, yeah, like I say, where you wouldn't always expect it and to have people keep paying attention.
Yeah, because I think this is probably the film that I've seen where you've used device and internet so perfectly, but not to the point where the device and the internet becomes the plot. It becomes a device that you use to serve the plot, and you aced it. And with the cast and yourself, you seem like quite a fun bunch. So I'm curious to know if you hosted an ultimate game night with Owen, Emily, and could invite other characters from rom-com history, who's coming? What game are you playing? What do you eat? And who wins?
Oh my God. How many other people can I invite?
I mean, however much you want. The SU is got loads of space.
That's you. Other people from rom-coms. I'd want Kat from 10 Things I Hate About You for sure.
Yeah.
And Patrick, I guess. Like 10 Things I Hate About You. I'd take who else do I want? I want there's so many. I mean, I think is it bad to just have all of the rom-com couples and just see how they'd respond? Like
Yeah.
Cher from Clueless and oh my God, what is Paul Rudd's character called? Yeah, Cher. Oh my God, what's his name?
Ah.
You look like Forrest Gump. Damn it. Oh my God, I feel so bad. Anyway, she like Paul Rudd, and then obviously when Harry Met Sally, we've got like those two. So yeah, eight couples, I guess, and me.
Yeah.
And
So what game are you guys gonna play?
shit, what do people play at game night? My brain just went immediately snakes and ladders, which is so
Yeah.
fucking childish. But no, we'd have to play shit. We should have asked Angourie this question. She loves
Yeah.
games. She's I guess it would be like probably Monopoly, I guess,
Yeah.
because we can play.
I
But
know.
with Manchester, right? Manchester
Yeah,
Monopoly
yeah, in
board.
Manchester. It has to be. So what food are you guys gonna eat?
Well, I'm not a very good cook, or rather, I'm just lazy. So I would probably order in pizza because
Mm,
that kind of works for a game night, and then beers. That feels like a lot of that we did that a lot in Manchester was just like beers and pizza. It seems to be like
yeah.
what we. So probably that. There's a really good pizza place. What was it called? But they did really good like crispy base, which is so important for me when it comes to a pizza. But we get a lot of that.
I
What's I'm
forgot.
chain now. Damn it. But their pizza from Manchester.
Oh, nice. I need to try it. But I thought you would have said Owen's jalfrezi. He wanted to make a mean jalfrezi
Yeah,
for
maybe you're
Emily.
right. Maybe we get Owen to make a curry. That's a good
Yeah.
shout. We'll get Owen to make a curry. Yeah.
Yeah. So who's gonna win this game night?
Who's gonna win Monopoly? I reckon Harry and Sally, to be honest. I reckon they're
Yeah.
the oldest, they've got the most experience. They're pretty wily when it comes to like,
Mm,
mortgages and hotels. So I
oh,
reckon it'd be those two.
100%. And speaking of Owen, I met Spike Fearn around literally like 2 years ago this week at Alien Romulus before he
Yeah.
completely skyrocketed. And it was funny because he was just so chill and funny. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in this film." He was just walking by whilst I was filming some for some work, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in this film." I'm like, "What, really?" This is like 5 minutes before the premiere. And then I had no idea that he was a musician till I saw your film. So I mean, that's a new discovery for me because I was listening to Catch You Up, and damn, that is a banger song.
It isn't it?
It's
Anthony
so good.
Schmerich, man. So
Yeah,
good.
so good. So how did you tap into like his personal charisma, charm, and funny vibe, and his music on set?
Who spikes?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't need to tap into anything. That guy, it's like that. It's just him, and he's sort of
yeah,
exactly the same. He just is that guy. You just let him do his thing, and like watch the sparks fly. He's heaven, and the music thing. I mean, he had to learn guitar and how to sing for this, and he was so great.
no way.
Yeah, yeah. We always had this joke that he sort of like conned me into it because his tape when it came in was him because I asked all the actors to send in a tape of them singing and playing guitar so that I could see that. And his tape, he basically pretended he did it as Owen writing a song. So he had a guitar and he would strum a few notes and then go and he would write something in a little notebook because if he was writing a song and I was like, oh, that's so clever. He's done it as the character, like genius. And didn't even question whether he could play the guitar or not. It turns out that he couldn't, and he couldn't sing. So but he was, perfect for the role, and so we got him into band boot camp, I guess, to make him learn, and he was, yeah, fantastic.
No, I thought he was just a natural. I didn't
Yeah,
expect that.
he was very
Wow.
good. He was very good. It's funny the Alien Romulus thing because while we were shooting in Manchester, the buses would go around with the Alien Romulus
Yeah.
posters. He would be there, so I was like, we cannot have a bus in the background with Alien going past in a scene, and like, there was a couple of times when it did. I was like, this is too meta. The world is too
Mm.
like sort of morphing in together. But yeah, I still haven't seen that movie because I can't because I know that he dies in a really terrible way, and I can't watch that. He's my
Yeah.
leading lad, and I can't be watching that.
Oh, it was gutting. And even in this film, his backstory, it gives so much emotional weight. And he's having to give up the band to work late shifts in the SU after losing his mom tragically. So, and then the whole campus, they turn on him, and he ends up stepping up on live campus TV broadcasts with his guitar. And it almost feels like he's reclaiming his voice after all that time. How did you direct that balance between campus cancel culture and his raw vulnerability?
Like I say, it was Spike doing his thing. That song was really it was really exciting. It was really vital that we get that right. And I think the song is so perfect and his balance of raw talent and vulnerability. And he had to be good, but not too good. And I think we're all on the edge of our seats when he goes, I've written this song, and you're like, oh God.
Mm,
Um, so it was a balance. It was just kind of holding him in that moment, um, but keeping all of the other things. It was complicated, to be honest. That
mm,
podcast scene where there's so much going on, that it's so the world feels so vast. There's lots of different spaces to keep track of, lots of different people watching it, and obviously Emily's like falling for him there and seeing him in a whole new light. And so it was complicated. It took us a long time to get it right, but.
yeah, I mean, you got it right. I'm with Angourie. I followed her career since the rom-com that she did called Every Day, if you've seen it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
good. And then obviously the Spider-Man trilogy. She brings such an intelligence to these young adult coming of age roles. And as an American outsider in Britain, her psychology thesis completely backfires because of the art of noticing Owen's quirks. It makes her fall for him. So what made Angourie like perfect to balance that cynical detachment with her real vulnerability?
So I think, as you said, she's such an interesting actor. She's been doing it for a long time, and she had this amazing sort of comedy from the beginning, from Nice Guys. She's got
Mm.
this comic sensibility and awareness of comedy, but she's also a really proper, deep actor who really does all of the research. And for this character, me and her went to psychology lectures in Manchester together, and
No way.
journal because I really wanted to. I'm super fascinated by psychology anyway, and I wanted us to go together anyway. And I was making playlists for both of them, and they were making playlists and for the characters, and she was journaling as the character, and she's really dedicated and thoughtful and just exquisite. So I think we had, there was further bits where I wanted to sort of deepen her. Because she's essentially a fish out of water. She's really far from home, and so things like her stress eating was
I like,
something that I
was that a pun?
huh?
Was that a
A fish
pun?
out of water. No,
Far from home.
far from home. Yeah, but yeah, very good. Yeah. Um, but yeah, in terms of, things like the stress eating, I was like, I'm thinking this, though, she's a stress eater. So so there's her eating lots of chips, there's her eating lots of popcorn, there's sweets, there's kind of lots of different things. So she was so up for it. And yeah, dedicated that, she's just great. And just, yeah, I'm so thrilled and like feel so lucky that we got her.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When I first saw that she got cast, I was like, yes, she's perfect because she's done the work so many times, but I feel like it's a new setting for her. So even though she's done similar traits, it's gonna bring something new out of it. And I saw that especially with the climax scene at the end, the Stoller Hall finale, from where she's interrupting the presentation and the confessions on the walkway is such a massive payoff, and I loved it. Like, how did you stage that scene so the emotional truth lands over the grand gesture?
Yeah, I think so. I added that scene on the bridge at the end. It wasn't scripted. It was meant to end in the Stoller Hall with her. She stands on the speech, stands on stage and she gives a speech and he comes in. And then as we started shooting and I got to know the characters better, I was like, there's no way it can end here in public in front of everyone. And that was a kind of trope, I guess, the sort of public kiss. And I was like, this doesn't work for these characters. It doesn't feel real. She would never do that in front of all of her, the Donegan associates and her work people. So, and he would never kiss her. So I was like, we need another scene. So I added this scene, wrote it. And it is a sort of a homage to When Harry Met Sally. But what I loved about Angourie's performance is even in that moment, it's so real because in the rom-coms, the big rom-coms,
Mm,
the character delivers this speech like quite confidently. Even Harry in When Harry Met Sally is like, the moment that you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, and he delivers it so confidently. But and Gary, because she knew that Emily wasn't comfortable with being with even this declaration at the end, even though she knew she had to do it, it's hard for her. I just think her performance is so good. She's so like, I
mm,
like you, but it's and she's like, and I think she does it so real for a big declaration, which was what
mm,
I really wanted, and actually in the end with that scene with editing it, again, we went back and forth, like, do you cut from her to him to see his reaction? And we went back and forth with lots of different combinations. And in the end, I was like, let's just hold on her because she's so uncomfortable even in giving the declaration. Like she wants
mm,
to do it, but it's weird because if we were to do a big declaration like that in real life, it would
mm,
be like, ugh. And I think you feel all of that, but you also feel her absolute adoration for him and she loves him. And so I just was like, we'll hold on her and wait and wait and wait so that we don't know what he's thinking and then cut to him at the end. And then he does the smile. And actually that's Owen's line. I mean, Spike's line. He was like, would it be funny if I said, um, like chill out. I'm just here because I've got a message from your dad.
mm.
And I was like, yeah. So it was one of those like found things because I was sort of rewriting that scene while we were shooting and by that point I was so in with the actors and I'd said to them, I was like, I'm going to change this. What do you think? And they were both really helpful with, what they should say to each other. So yeah, I feel lucky with that location because it just so happened that that was the exit to the Stoller Hall. And I was like, is it too much that they have their big, reconciliation on a bridge? Is that too dramatic? But actually, like,
Perfect.
yeah, felt good.
And it's such a beautiful scene. And I do have to wrap up, but it's been
No, I'm
amazing
sorry
speaking
about
to you. And honestly, you smashed it. It's your future debut, and it's so inspiring because I'm writing my own. So I just want to go and ask, what's your advice for someone wanting to take the plunge into their first feature?
I mean, your first feature, what I've learned anyway, is you don't get it back. Like throw everything at it. Like all of the big ideas, all just do it all. Things like all the Emily's in his room and the email. There was a bit of like, is that going to work from the producers? There's always it's like if you've got the ideas, like do it, throw them all in there, go big. This is who you are as a filmmaker, and put all of yourself in it, your heart and your soul. This film is my heart and soul. Like I'm so proud of it, and I love it, and I feel so lucky that I can stand by it, and that so I guess that's it. Put you into it because I think that's what the nuance and the specificity I think is what will make it great.
That's beautifully said. And Alicia, thank you so much for your time. You put Manchester on the map, and now it's global. So
No, it's
massive congrats.
global.
It's global, and massive congrats, and hopefully I'll see you on set one day. And
Yes,
yeah,
man.
wait, I think it's got Finding Emily on the back, doesn't it?
Does
It
indeed.
does, it does, it does. Perfect. I
Thank
think
you,
it's it.
Rex.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.